in California, Matt, and I was fortunate to know some of the people who were leaders in the LGBT community in the 70s and 80s, like Harry Hay and the Matter Machine, and some of those folks. I was able to really, living in LA, I had an opportunity to meet them. And this has been something we have been, I guess you might say, fighting for, working towards for decades. And to see this happen, it's just incredible. Just incredible. Feel like we're finally have the abilities and the rights that everybody else does. I was with my husband for 30 years. We were not recognized as a married couple, so I was not able to make the arrangements for his funeral when he died 2 years ago. And fortunately for me, I had a family that was, I'm their brother. 30 years, I'm their brother, and we worked together to achieve what Stephen's wishes were. But there were so many people that I know who have not had those relationships with their families or with their spouse's family. So to be able to have that available now, that people can now get a death certificate without having to go through other channels. They can make the funeral arrangements. They can do the hospital visits without feeling, that they can't be. The taxes, being able to, all those things that everybody else was able to participate in is just incredible. When Stephen and I were together, we wanted to get married, but we just said, what's the difference? I mean, we know we love each other, so we just went and just said, we don't need to get that piece of paper. But when we were able to get domestic partnership rights in California when we lived out there, all of a sudden we had additional rights that we didn't have. Though limited, we had more rights than we had there. Then moving to Arizona, we lost all those. And so most of us gay couples at that time, LGBT couples, we had to do powers of attorney and durable powers of attorney and all these other things. But in those instances where you have stress, sometimes you can't find them where you thought they were. And so I had issues with that because I couldn't find them. But I don't know, it's just a brave new world. And then reading what Obama said yesterday about the 14th Amendment applying to everyone in our community, in the nation, not just a limited few, that to me shows progress. And to be able to have that progress, to be able to look at civil rights for everybody and equality for everybody it's awesome. I can hardly wait until we can start moving forward even more. We've been taking baby steps for such a long time, and now we have these huge steps that we've been able to take. And overnight, and seeing so many of my friends get married over the weekend has just been exciting. And many of them have been together for over 20 years. Now they have that ability now to be legal. I hate to say that, but now we're legal. And it's all about legality. It's not about religion or anything else. It's about the rights that people have. And that's it. I'm not going to say that because I'm going to lose it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Okay. Wow, that was awesome. Okay, so we're just going to do a little bit of reflection and wrapping up. So proud of us for being on time. I feel like our group got so much done. Okay, so just want to ask everyone, just an open question, how do you think we can improve next time on how this meeting went?
I think this meeting really benefited from a smaller size, and it's really great to have a lot of people here. So I just think we should think about how to make today's experience applicable to when we have more people show up.
Yeah, I think you're right that we didn't have a lot of problems we had last week because we had a lot more people last week. Does anyone have any ideas about how we can improve things if we have a really big group next time? I think I'll
also kind of keeping an eye on your the facilitator, the person that's trying to like keep things going and going in a certain manner, a certain time. Keeping an eye on that and being respectful of the fact that there are people that are trying to keep this in a timely manner. I think that would be really helpful.
See, I get where you're coming from, but I actually I've had a hard time with how rigid the time is, and I think I think it's rigid, and I would like some more flexibility with time to see what, because there's things that people have to say that we can't plan for and we can't expect, and I think I wish there was more space to be flexible with space and time for new voices, so that we could really see, listen to ourselves and see and go in those directions also. And so, and not that having structure is bad, but I wish that it wasn't so rigid and so going, right? And because then there's no flexibility for new voices and new ideas and direction.
You guys really summarized what we've been struggling with.
Yeah. So it seems like that issue kind of just stems on location. So if it wasn't here and it wasn't, we weren't trying to abide by the time frame that we were given because of other events happening after Certain Forest, then yeah, that totally makes sense for allowing people to talk. But if we don't have that ability to be in a different location where we have a lot more flex room, maybe just a quick, or maybe we set aside one day, one speak up to talk about intention and efficiency in communicating with each other, and then maybe talk a little bit about just personal dynamics with each other, and that we all have something wonderful to say, and we all want to do that, and we want to respect that, and we want to hear it so bad. But unfortunately, with this space, this time, this is what we have to do. So it's the only way we can speak up here. And so maybe then creating other outlets where we can meet afterwards, stay longer. Everyone can have a side session down there or something like that you can coordinate with your own group. And we can just talk about how that can happen or something like that.
Our group, the Civic Engagement Group, created a Google group that we're using to continue our, not a document, a Google group, where we have threads of conversation. And I think that's already helped us just this week be able to say, okay, we can't talk about this now, but we will, let's continue offline. So that might be a way to do it. Did you?
Yeah, that's what other means of having a thread or group that can be focused through Google, or also a conference call, a couple times a week, where the people can call and talk about, have a check-in, and kind of have a basic formula like what you already have, but kind of update everybody on the progress that's been made, or and also be able to exchange each other's phone numbers and communicate throughout the week, so that this becomes more of an ongoing thing. Otherwise, it becomes this weekly thing where you just, I'm only checking in for and then I'm going home and I got so much to do, I get lost in the sauce. So being able to continuously keep maintaining the focus outside of the group, I think, is going to be the key to continuing the momentum and enthusiasm that I saw in the first few meetings. Just that don't really want to lose that and actually want to be able to do something as a group, regardless of what it is, but being able to actually go out and do whatever it is and have an effect is going to rejuvenate or enliven the group's energy. So being able to have a plan of action, physical,
in previous organizing experience, if you have limited time, what's worked for some of the groups I've been in is dividing that up into, well, you're going to only have 2 minutes to speak, but then being able to take the temperature of the group, with the understanding, if you extend this person's time because they're on an interesting idea that you all want to hear more about, you understand it's going to cut into the rest of everyone's time to speak, but you're invested in this idea. And so just taking a majority vote at the time, taking the temperature of the group, their consensus or whatever, So it's flexible, but at the same time, it can be rigid if you need it to be.
So you're saying when someone starts to go over time, then you stop and ask the group
Yes.
if that's okay?